Right.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. In the place to be. I'm your host, Adam Ill. To right and left from me is, I'll get y'all names right now. It's because the governor is Jambo One. I think I got that right. It's Quan Bizzle. And I'm your host, Adam Ill. This is the Guess I'll Say It podcast. Leave a like, subscribe, please share. We're trying to get 1K subscribers so we can get sponsorship and get paid off this thing we love to do here that we gather every week to do. Fellas, I feel like Mike and the flu game because when you get up in your 40s, lately my wife and I we've been doing like cardio every morning, right? And then I said I'm gonna go back to weightlifting once a week, right? Just a light 100 reps, right? But you gotta be very cautious what you put in your body because in your 40s, man, well for me in your 40s, it's in your 20s or 30s you can eat all the junk in the world, burn it out, mentally go through foolishness and fatigue, right? And you can just skip through it. I think I had a blood clot in my mid 30s. I was the youngest one on the cardiac floor, there for like 3 nights, and then had to take the injections, then the blood thinners, whatever. Well, in your 40s, man, I was eating well, doing a great start, and it's a place I won't mention where I went to because you never know, you may need future sponsorships, and that I feel kind of weird with that because I'm like, I don't know if I would want to sponsor these people. You feel what I'm saying? But I went to a fried food joint and I ate the chicken there, and boy, I feel like I want to Earl every 5 seconds, bro. So I made a pact. I said, no more fried food at all. I was barely eating fried chicken, right? I caught myself trying to treat myself and end up really destroying my body, disturbing my body. No more fried fish. The only fried food I would eat, like exception to the rule, was fried fish. I'm deleting all fried food, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because what you put in your body, especially at this age, man, it matters. The company you keep and the energy really matters at this age, at this stage, because the littlest thing can set you off, and you don't want to end up in one of those institutions. I work at an institution, and the first thing I do when I go in their rooms, the patient rooms, I see the pictures on the wall, and I'm like, yo, they was live and had all this energy, and they was in sound mind and spirit. How did it get to here? You know what I'm saying? And you see some of the habits that they have before they had dementia or Alzheimer's. Some people, still smoking cigarettes there. They got cancer, stage 3 or whatever, and they like, oh, forget it. I'm on my way out. I might as well just go ahead. You feel what I'm saying? So, fellas, especially my 40 and over panel, and even you, Quan Bizzle, it all starts, at your age, man. Eat right, stay away from fried food, get rid of this right here, because this is where most of your diseases come from. You feel what I'm saying? So, all right, fellas, black fatigue. I'm gonna play this clip that I got off of TikTok. We don't own the rights to it. I don't know if you fellas can hear it, but it's a lot of this one of many clips, right? And then I want you guys to tell me y'all views on black fatigue. Then, hold on. Hold on. Can y'all hear it?
Segregated from all that nonsense.
Yeah, I can hear it.
Okay.
Speak volume. We understand that there's a time to blame us,
Here it is.
More and more black people are starting to speak up. They're starting to speak up on the community. And I don't blame us because we tired. See, what a lot of people don't understand is that there's a huge difference between regular black folk and ninjas. Let me break it down for you. Ninjas want to stay in their horrible environments. They have no self-respect and no self-control. They go around unaliving, essaying, stealing, robbing. They don't care about each other. They don't take care of their neighborhoods. And they definitely don't take care of themselves. They don't care about their appearance. They outside loud and obnoxious. Bonnets and mink lashes, extremely long fingernails, sagging pants, smelling like an overwhelming odor of marijuana. And of course, they the victim. They still complaining about something that happened 400 years ago, way before their time, way before their parents' time, way before their great grandparents' time, way before their great 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 grandparents' time. Need I go on? And then we got regular black folk. We take pride in our community. We are hardworking, ambitious individuals who definitely want to be segregated from all that nonsense. Our demeanor and our appearance speak volume. We understand that there's a time and a place for our behavior. And most of all, we respect one another.
All right. What was the rule? What was certain types of arguments? Not gaslighting.
Oh man.
No, straw. Yes, there's a lot of that, and that I hear a lot of straw man. Right? Okay. Who want to go first before I lay down the law on this certain on this certain video? Who want to give it a shot first?
I think that's the she's talking about a certain amount of ignorance that comes out, but it's blanketed. It's like a blanket statement. You know what I mean? I think people are tired of ignorance in the public, not necessarily black fatigue. You know what I mean? But it's getting called black fatigue, unfortunately. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I think it's part of the sign of the times because you see people are not they don't people don't act the way they did in 2000. It's not the same way as it was in 1980 or 1970. And you know what I mean? It's a different world than it is now, than it was then. So I think that's what a lot of the people are talking about, just the overall, in general, just like the certain level of ignorance that you see out in public.
I got a question for you guys though. Do you think she's justified, or a lot of black people, that have similar opinions are justified for feeling that way?
Yeah, I mean, I think like say when it comes to this, there's a side of it that you can hear. There's definitely a certain political bias that you can hear in it. And I understand why people have that. That's why I mean there's a partial justification to it. You know what I mean? But at the same time, when you do the full blanket brush, you just paint with the broad strokes like that, you're putting a lot of people, you're not quite understanding the dynamics of it.
Gentleman one, do you want to speak on it real quick before I lay the nail in the coffin with this particular video?
Yeah, I actually agree. I want to agree with it. I think Chris Rock touched on this decades ago in one of his earlier stand-ups when he was like, you got black people and you got niggas. And every time black people got a good thing happening, you got a bunch of niggas that's gonna come along and mess it up. And he said that back in like 94. And we just coming to a point where we like, yo, we tired of you niggas. And you got white people speaking on it. You got all types of people speaking on it. You got Asians speaking on it because the niggerdom at this point in time is completely going crazy. You know what I mean? Like, we like people tired of it, and I can't say I blame them. You know what I mean? And it's nothing new. Like black fatigue been happening for decades. We had issues. We could remember all these issues ever since we've been alive. So it's not nothing new. We always had a bunch of ignorant Negroes out here running amok, shooting each other, stealing stuff, going up in the store, hoes out here twerking on top of cars, fighting, pulling each other's weaves out. You got the tumbleweed rolling down the street in the wind. Like, it's a mess. It's a mess. And yeah. I didn't know what black fatigue was. I heard people talking about it, but then I looked it up to see what it was. And yeah, I completely agree with it. I agree. It's about time people started saying something because we just been letting this slide. You know what I mean? Like, you got okay, you got the sisterhood, right? The sisterhood will they will what's the word I'm looking for? Like
Condone.
if you have a woman who has unique thought and she has morals, if she says something against the sisterhood, which is the hood rats, the hood boogers, those ignorant chicks out here running wild, if she says something against that, they call her pick me. They, you know what I mean? They, you know, and it's extremely hard for, you know, good people to address this. And I think it's good. It's time that we address it. And we don't need to just be online addressing it. We need to address it in person when we see it and stuff. But sometimes I'll be feeling like, all right, sometimes I feel like good black people be outnumbered, or good black people be segregated from, like, you know, like the ratchets. We be segregated from them. That's another thing. Because the ignorant festers. It festers. And I feel sorry for the good people that live in the city and they have to deal with the whole snitches get stitches thing that these Negroes started doing decades ago. They have to deal with the ignorance. You know what I mean? And yeah. I said a lot.
Well,
Go ahead.
I'm gonna disagree. Well, I'm gonna disagree with 50% of what you said. I'm gonna dive deep. I'm gonna peel layers, right? Fatigue. I'm taught of white fatigue. I've been taught of white fatigue for over 3,000 years. I'm taught of capitalism fatigue. I'm taught of America fatigue. I'm just taught of fatigue. Now, when you listen to her, first thing I went was in the comment section. And I noticed a lot of white folk in the comment sections.
Mhm.
And the first thing I put in the comment section is, yeah, black fatigue, cool, I get it. But white folk, have we forgotten about y'all fatigue? Have y'all forgotten about how y'all wild out at these hockey games? How y'all wild out at these rock concerts? KKK rallies, I'm taught of that type of fatigue. I'm taught of racism fatigue. Let's see. I'm tired of police brutality fatigue. I'm taught a lot of fatigue. So when white folk, they get certain white people in these comments, they forget, they get high and mighty. And the propaganda, I believe, is to take the shine off of them and make them look like the standout citizens to be around. Oh, you hear it a lot from our people. Oh, it's white people in this neighborhood. Must be safe. See Becky jogging, and Al walking his little poodle. It must be safe. No, no,
Definitely not safe. Not safe
it's
for
not
black people.
safe. But we have a condition, and it's bad enough that we have not got over that hump of mentally thinking. And I'm not advocating for superiority. Excuse me, I'm not an advocate of that. I'm an advocate of a person who your morals stand out over your color and your race. I advocate for that. But when we're talking about white America, black people has a mental hurdle to get over and say, okay, white is safe, white is right. You know, we don't want to add on to their arrogantness, because this video was stemmed from the Carnival cruise
Mhm.
and how all these black people was turning up and acting a fool, right? And the white people was like, oh my God, the price of admission was not worth this. You know what I'm saying? Dear white folk, I get it. And then these videos only sprung different reactions where you got white people now that's generalizing black people. You know what I'm saying? Of these actions, right? Another layer I want to peel back because I know I'm jumping all over the place. There's no more each one teach one. I get it. We have knowledge of self. You get older, you're supposed to get wiser. But do we sit and we talk and we're talking with results with these younger black people? I get fatigued when I hear ratchet music that influences the young youth. I get fatigued when I see these movies out here that influence the young youth. I get fatigued when there's documentaries glorifying a gangster, but if you're really paying attention, that same gangster that's behind bars or came home, he say, don't do what I done. It's gonna lead you here. You get what I'm saying? All glitters in gold. So I think there's a disconnect with the youth and people from our generation that had gotten older and gotten wiser and said, look, what y'all doing, y'all embarrassing the race. There's no more Malcolms out here. There's no more Garveys and Kings out here. There's no more real black leadership. Okay? Oh, we lead ourselves. Doing a good job at that. So you might as well just learn from those who've been down that rodeo or those who avoided that rodeo and say, look, don't jump off the cliff. This ain't right. What y'all doing is y'all embarrass yourselves. It ain't about impressing a white man or any other race on the planet. It's about being a good, upstanding, moral citizen within your own communities and race. Ain't about impressing them because we also have a mental hurdle when we're around a whole bunch of white people. We got to do everything right, sit up straight. Nah, be yourself. In a good way. Be a good human being. You get what I'm saying? So,
Yeah,
I just think that it's another form of dividing us, niggas and black people. You still a nigga in their eyes. You can wear glasses, a bow tie, a suit, three-piece suit, you still a nigga. So my thing is, except for dividing, we gotta reach back and tell these people, look, and I know it's a hard battle because you're dealing with mental illness, you're dealing with the music, you're dealing with the movies, you're dealing with the influences, and the sad part is, you're dealing with the drugs, and you're dealing with the mothers of these people who happen to be in their 30s and 40s that are ignorant.
Right. Right. But so that's the thing though. So that's why you can't pretend like it's not real though. Like it is a legitimate issue. Like this is a real thing that's going on. Like when it comes down, I think it's the complaint about the way that everything is degrading right now. Everything is degraded to the point now that, you know, common decency is not a common thing. That's what the complaint really is. You know what I mean? So when you look at it from that aspect about the complaint being about the common decency, that's what I'm talking about before. Because you're starting to see this it's not just a black thing, it's also a white thing too. But you really seeing it real bad on our side though. I just seen the incident that happened in Ocean City. You know, and every time we got to Ocean City, all these big fights or breakdown, Fells Point keeps happening. You know what I mean? So it's a lot of these things that's happening out in the public eye that wouldn't happen before. Like, see, our generation was kids, we weren't running that wild and before. So that's what they talking about. So when we get into that point, and then at the same time, it's like automatically got to give us a pat. That's what the way it looks like is there's automatic excuses made. Like everyone's get the excuses already set to you. Oh, don't expect them to do too much because he's coming from a poor background, or so don't expect much from him. It's like this lowered expectations. It's the opposite side. Because everyone like to talk about racism from the side of the people that say we can't stand you. You need to go back to the plantation, right? But people don't talk about the other side of it, where it's lowered expectations. We don't expect you to be able to read. We don't expect you to be able to write. We don't expect you to even do the basic things, go to work and save your money and do things. We don't expect that. So we'll just hand you this instead and give you excuses out the book. So then now, a lot of people, when they get locked up, they right back on the street. You know what I mean? So it's a combination of these type of things that's just festering and turning this whole situation into like a living nightmare. You know what I mean? So the people that's complaining this, I wouldn't fully put them in the bag of saying that this is because they hate themselves or this is like an anti-black thing. You know what I mean? Because some of the people that's saying this is coming from the aspect of this thing is just going out of control.
Yeah, I get it. But the angle I was coming from, where it was giving the fuel for white people to look more high and mighty. Like, see, look at them.
Well,
They're animals. Like
I don't think that's what it is.
I
And
mean,
that
if you read the
definitely wasn't my
comments,
angle, because I think most black people do not care about what white people think. We care about what we think. That's the issue. That's what I'm seeing. Y'all making us not just look bad for white people. We don't care about white people. Look, when I see some ratchet stomping out some racist white person online, I rejoice. That's when they come in handy. I rejoice on that kind of stuff. Don't nobody care about white people. This is about how you making us look. You know what I mean? Like, we tired of the bad imagery.
Mm.
I get it. Maybe I gotta stop reading the comments, because I just when you're in the comments, right? It gets taken the wrong way, because now you're in the defense of your entire race, because they're looking at things from a general standpoint. See, there they go again.
Yeah.
The usual suspects.
And
All of them
gonna
are like
do
that.
We already know what white people on. We already know. We're not even concerned about them. This is about us. This is about us unifying and cleaning up our image, our world image.
Right.
We ain't worried. This ain't about just America. This is about the way the world views us. And when they see us, they often see the ratchets, the ignorance. You know what I mean?
It's
Okay.
like ignorance and black. It's like
We gotta
ignorance and
clean it
black.
up.
Yeah, it's like ignorance and black go hand in hand.
Right.
If it's an ignorant, but oh, it's got that's what we about. And it's not, yeah, like you say, it's more than just the white people, because think about it. We got Caribbeans, Africans, black people around the world. Then they come around, they say, yeah, but them black Americans though, they
Right.
got it's that, you know what I mean? We gotta clean. I mean, I understand. See, we're much more multifaceted than that. But it seemed like the main image that we want to portray of us is not even us, but what is portrayed is the ignorant side.
Mm.
And you know what's crazy about that? When you look on the internet, right, you'll see a lot of these people from different countries mimicking black culture.
Right.
Mm. So what's the plan though? I mean, what's the solution? Because I feel like there's a lot of people talking. There's a lot of fingers being pointed. But what's the solution? Where's the money? Where is the effort being put? We don't have a Malcolm. We don't have a Marcus Garvey. But who's going to stand up? Not who, but what group? Who's going to stand up and help the community? You know what I mean? Who's going to speak? Who's going to use their platform? Even if you have 1,000 followers, who's going to put that effort in? It's all about who's not lazy and who's willing to put the effort in. You know what I mean? Is it worth it? I think these days in 2025, is it worth putting that effort into the black community?
That's a good question. I think it's worth it though. It's always worth it.
Yeah,
And people, like you say, people be lazy, man. Like, they lazy. And then you have what I was saying earlier about the way certain groups are segregated. You know,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of the people in the hood, they be down and out. They just trying to make ends meet. So it's extremely hard for them to take the time out to try to fix their situation.
Right.
I get it. I understand. I get it. It's not something that can happen overnight.
there's a religious quote from a certain prophet. He said, when you take something from them, replace it with better.
Mhm.
That's common logic. You know, back when there was a food program with the Black Panthers and they did a lot of stuff, and then you know, again, we have enough fatigue around us to be worrying about we have enough fatigue around us, let alone worrying about black fatigue.
Yeah. It's kind of like everybody's, I don't know. Everyone's afraid to sweep their own porch. You know what I mean? Sweep off their own steps.
Yeah, like the savior
Properties,
mentality is
and
crazy to me.
they
Right.
gotta
You know, black
infiltrate us
people
from
want
within
somebody to
and
come
bring
along and
drugs.
save them. But nobody is going to save you. You have to save yourself. You have to look in the mirror and do your part. And you have to save yourself if you want to get your community out of a bad situation. Because other communities ain't going to do it for you.
Nope.
We've been saying that for decades. We've been saying that forever.
Right. And eventually it gets to a point where it turns into like it's all right, this whole place. You know, Philly, what year was that? Was that in the 80s, Philly, when they bombed part of Philly? Remember hearing that?
Yeah, I remember hearing about that.
Yeah, it's just gonna get to that point where they go, oh, it's such a sty anyway. Just go ahead and do it. You know, eventually, you know what I mean? Because think about it, when you had the major fires that happened in California, say the beginning of this year,
Hmm.
you didn't hear a whole lot about the people. You heard about the damage of the property and all that type of stuff, and then that just swept away. We don't hear about that anymore. So
Right.
same thing when it comes to now. That's for those people, and most of that wasn't even in the hood. You know what I mean? So imagine what it would be like if it was the hood. No one cares like that when it comes down to it. But
Right.
right, but we're the ones that will be caring because that's our family, that's us, you know what I mean? And we be the ones in the middle of it. And they say, oh, just go ahead, sweep it, man. We can go ahead, we can finally get this place like we wanted to. Look what happened in New Orleans. You know what I mean?
Hmm. I want to
Yeah.
say something. I feel like we need to stop trying to separate the sugar from the salt. Um, for the longest time, we were trying to start over from a place that never wanted us to start over in the first place. We're trying to take our power back. We're trying to get to, you know, our greatness from a place that never wanted to see that anyway, that never wanted to see growth from us. You know what I mean? Every time we build something, we get something going for ourselves, it's always undermined, is always sabotaged in some type of way. I feel like even though it fell on deaf ears and never went as planned, the Akon city, you know, never happened. But when Akon said he was making his own city, I feel like okay, that may have been a bluff, but what if that actually happened? I feel like, you know, what if we had our restart, start from somewhere else, start somewhere, probably some unrealistic thinking, but start somewhere far from the people that never wanted good for us anyway. We have our own piece of land, we have our own stores, we start all over again. I feel like trying to start over in somewhere like America is not impossible, but it's just not I don't feel like it's worth doing it anymore. I feel it's been done many a time by so many people, so many leaders. It just keeps ending up the same way. You know, I feel like we as a group of people were very crazy to believe that is going to be any different, especially here. I feel like if we have a good restart, a good start over where these are the ground rules, this is what it is from the beginning to the end, this is what it is from the first generation that's here all the way to the next generation. I feel like that would be better because I mean, like when the colonizers, when they came here, they had their set of rules for themselves, for their slaves, for their people. They had their set of rules, how things are going to be, how things are going to be 50 years from now, 400 years from now. You know what I mean? They had a plan. I feel like we need to, it could be in Africa, it could be somewhere, just not even Africa, it could be anywhere. We need to have a serious restart, a serious beginning, you know?
Yeah, I agree with you. I made a video about that. A video called "Black People Should Leave America," and I was talking about that exact same thing. on that video because, like you said, we trying to start from a place that we've been behind in. You know what I mean? We were servants to this land. This land will never look at us as people. They never will. So it's sometimes it might be better to just go somewhere and start fresh, 100%. And it could be anywhere. It don't have to be Africa. It could just, you know what I mean? Just go to an island and create a society, you know. And everybody can't come because it's got to be people who really want better. You know what I mean?
And got
Yeah.
that.
Before I go into the next segue, man,
Frozen.
black folk ain't gonna win over here, bro. Black nationalist groups, the jig is up. It ain't no spaceship, mothership coming to save you. It ain't no devil in his reign coming to save you. No 6,000, ain't none of that happening, bro.
Right.
And it's all a laughing joke at the end of the day because, you know, white supremacists looking at y'all like, y'all don't hold the military might, y'all don't make the laws, y'all don't pass the laws, y'all don't own the criminal justice system, y'all don't own the courts. Go ahead and have your fun, you know, worship on a star. So my thing is, I think Jam said it best. It's selfish, but at the same time, it's unselfish. I guess two things could be right? Save yourself. Save you and your family. If everyone had that mindset of consciousness, I'm going to be a good person to society by building on me and my household, that's how things change. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
that I don't know. They say insanity is repeating something over and over again, thinking it's going to work. And I hate to break it to you guys, man. You know, these black nationalist groups and all these other groups. I hate to break it to you guys, man. I mean, salute to y'all for, you know, if that floats your boat, so be it. But when you look at the large scale, you got no win. And I dare
Right.
anybody challenge me and let me know that you're gonna take this European society where they've been dominating for thousands of years, and the only ones who did was successfully good at it was the Moors when they conquered Spain, and that only lasted for a few hundred years. So good one on that. Next topic. What we'll talk about? Hip hop. What we talking about? Hip hop?